From the eerie castle of white-sheeted weirdness comes the Stuart Gordon family fiasco that is 1995's Castle Freak. A broken family inherits a castle with some skeletons in its own catacombs. If People Under the Stairs in a family reunion had a misshapen baby and kept it in a cage, you'd get this creepy castle classic. Can this grieving group figure out the castle's secrets before it's too late? How does one properly prepare cat with a side of nipple? Does a white sheet constitute camouflage? And how cold does a castle need to be to shrink your twigs and berries? Hope you guys have paid off the lawyers, made sure the coffins aren't rockin', and the gimp is still in his cage, because this castle is about to get freaky.
Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise!
Whoa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Fuck good! If What the Actual Fuck was a movie, out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Chuddle the Pod, the horror movie club that takes a ridiculous look at the serious and schlocky world of horror films. My name's Brian, I'm joined by my co-occupants of the pod, Ross and Sam, and today we inherit some real estate as we discuss 1995's Castle Freak. Before we get into that, I didn't adjust my script, but we have someone came knocking at our door, and we have a special guest for tonight.
Can you hear him knocking?
The witchy Prejean himself, Ricky Prejean. Hi, welcome, thank you, of Nightclub fame.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
we're very happy to have you. And we're glad you came knocking because, incidentally, and we'll get into it in a moment, you're the one that suggested this movie, so it just all kind of worked out, which is
serendipitous,
right? But before we get freaky, don't forget to jump into our Discord, the best place to continue this conversation with us, as well as other fans and past guests. You can also follow at Chuddle the Sam on Letterboxd for all of his movie opinions. Ross Perlis on Instagram for a peek at that sweet tattoo action, and at Chuddle the Pod on Instagram. And look for our friend request on Slasher. At last, but certainly not least, we have a Patreon, and we got to shout out our Coven of Witches: Travis Maxwell Boone, the Witch Doctor of Doom; Paul Lich, the Ditch Witch; the Horror Bandwagon, the Witchy Wish Dragon; Trevor, the Witch Master of Pleasure; and Ricky Prejean, the Witchy Prejean. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls. And real quick about the Patreon, because I don't kind of mention like what you actually get out of it that often, and I thought I'm going to slip that in here real quick. First, you're going to get the witch name. So that's one of the fun things that everyone's really latched onto and likes. The Chuddlemen hold a ritual and summon a name for you for joining the coven, which you're anointed with once we figure that out. You're also going to get 2 bonus exclusive episodes per month. One is like a general mailbag where you can send in any kind of questions you like, and we'll probably answer them. And then you also get a non-horror movie episode, which we, the Chuddlemen, all pick one. We don't say whose is whose, put it up for a vote, and then all of you vote on it, and we do that as a kind of like a boiled down little thing for you over there too. You also get votes on like an actual regular episode too, which is what tonight's episode essentially is. So as we said, Ricky suggested this. Yeah, but this is our patron
suggestion that we picked.
Yeah, because all the patrons suggest a movie, and then the Chuddlemen convene and pick one of those movies, and that's where we get to tonight. Plus all of this other kind of cool stuff, stickers and all this other shit. So check it out. 369, all of it's fun. Yes. Now, let's get into this. Who made it? Castle Freak. This movie was directed by Stuart Gordon. It was written by Gordon and Dennis Paoli. I'm going to probably do a lot of like, excuse me if I accidentally slip into
garlic
that.
Paoli.
Yeah. Some of our key players in the film are Jeffrey Combs as John Riley, Barbara Crampton as Susan Riley, Jessica Dollarhude Hyde. Maybe I just spelled it wrong.
It's Hide.
Oh, I have Dollarhude and I like that better. So sorry. Sorry to shit around your name. Dollar Hyde.
Old West.
As Rebecca Riley. Elizabeth Kaza as Agnes, Luca Zingaretti as Forte. I didn't get his. And Jonathan Fuller as Giorgio,
The Bay.
aka the
Castle
Freak. Castle Freak.
The Freak.
The one and only.
That
Yeah.
boy.
And obviously some other people. as
Damn,
well.
he freaky.
Massimo Sarcielli, Giannatti, the lawyer. Love that guy.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah,
you
he's
love that?
great.
Yeah, you big lawyer head. All right, so let's get into our Goyer meter. Goro-meter.
Goiter. I
Go-
have
the
a
goiter
meter.
Gorometer.
Fatality.
Basically, on a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this film? To break it down further, 1 to 5 of kind of like how gory is it is a good scale. Then 1 to 5 of how sustained that gore is, and kind of add them up, and I feel like that gives you a good average of what's going on here. So I can certainly kick us off tonight. I've been kind of kicking around the bucket on how I feel about this one, and I think it probably sits around a 6 because I just between the two. I think like the sustained gore is obviously a little bit lower. How gory it is, like those are like it's pretty like brutal gore. It's pretty gross.
When we get
like,
the gore, it's
intense.
squeamish
it's
gore.
It's
Right,
squeamish
it's
too.
squeamish. It's a good,
Because I feel like
but you don't get a lot.
You don't, but when you get it, yeah, exactly. Because I like comparing it to last movie, Friday the 13th, was I felt that gore was more camp. This one just makes me feel a little bit more squeamish when I see the things happen.
Totally.
Oh, definitely.
You
That's
feel
why,
it more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes up for me. So I'm sitting at a 6.
Very effective gore.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to go right down the middle. I'm going to do like 5.5, like 5.5. You know what I mean? Because I think it's not super crazy amount of gore, but when you do get it, it's good. It's like there's a few key scenes where you're like, oh wow, okay. I think because of the lack of gore throughout the movie, it heightens the gore scenes themselves because it's just like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go there.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd go
We
between.
went there.
I think I'm going the opposite direction, little higher at 6.5. So we're all kind of in the same ballpark still, but just because when the gore is there, I was thinking that's probably between like a 3 and a 4, but we only get maybe 2 to 3 of it. So 6.5 just kind of seems like
Feels
that
good.
works.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Ricky, you got thoughts?
I'd
How
give
many
it.
Goros?
I've been
How many
wanting to
Goros?
say between a 6 and a 7, so I think I'll split it down the middle and join Sam.
Nice. I mean, I think that is a pretty good average. I mean,
Of 6.5.
that's probably 6 to a 6.5.
Like you guys said, it's not there often, but when it's there, it's gnarly.
Do you think the sheet makes it better because you could see a lot of the red? You know what I mean? Because it's such a
better in what
darkly
sense?
as in it's such a dark film. Is that like I think sometimes the particularly the white sheet just covered in blood. It makes it a little more like
I know it makes him look even scarier somehow to me.
Oh,
so
for sure.
there's that.
But yeah,
He's
I don't
"Let
know.
me cover up so you're not scared of me.
I mean, yeah, if one of our characters is very lucky to not have to see what it looks like. Because I mean, shit, that's
Yeah.
whether it has that fucking bloody. I don't know but we'll get into the freak itself and all that details and how we feel about that. Okay, who is this horror for? This question is pretty much asking what kind of horror subgenre it belongs to. How would you recommend to watch it? Alone, a group, both, either? And is it for beginners?
I would say that it's a B movie, if that even. So you have to like low budget stuff, and even like just the look of it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That I was gonna say it's also a monster, like a monster.
It's that
Absolutely.
full shit,
definitely a
bro,
monster
you know?
movie.
Would it be gothic?
Oh, it's
'Cause
got
it's
some gothic
horror
overtones
vibes for sure. I would also say if you are a big fan of Stuart Gordon's work, like this one doesn't have the humor of his other movies, but
not
it has
intentionally anyway.
Yeah, not intentionally, but like but it still has the same cadence. Like I think it's it's probably one of his lesser known ones, but it's still a good one.
Oh, big time. Everyone knows Reanimator,
Sure.
but this is actually my favorite Stuart Gordon movie. So
Oh,
all right. Is it for beginners?
I would say so.
It could
depends on the
be.
beginner.
I mean,
It's a weird one, but
I
it's a good creature feature.
For sure.
If
a
it's
good
someone
creature
coming to me
feature.
and is like, I like horror and I'm interested in things, yeah, watch this. I don't think it's too challenging. But if it's someone being like, I want to dip my toes into horror for the first time,
I would
I'm
not
not going to start
suggest
them with
it.
Castle
No.
Freak.
Agreed.
They might be
Right.
like, this is what horror movies are? I'm
I
I'm
don't
okay.
know if I'm okay.
So if beginners was a finger, I would give it half a finger.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair.
How would you watch it? Do you think
I think
I think a group could be fun for
I
sure.
think a group would be
I think
fun.
that's how I first
Yeah,
watched
it's
it.
a group movie for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I watched it twice, and I think I actually liked it more my second time. We'll get into all that stuff, but I think I would have enjoyed this movie more watching it with friends.
Sure.
Mhm.
Who is this horror not for? It's got some heavy sexual assault stuff, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna make you feel gross and sad, and
Yeah.
there's definitely some violence against women and animals that's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
animal. I forgot about the
Um,
animal.
there
So
is
there's that.
big alcoholism undertones in this movie, and I guess
Overtones.
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 Yeah.
big,
Overtures.
no,
Actually,
no,
it's actually
big
just
undertones.
It's I mean, like, and also, I mean, I guess child death, because of.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
man,
JJ.
we got a big list.
Oh
for
yeah,
this
it's a
boy.
few. I didn't-
Yeah.
yeah,
Gross
gets-
and
this one
sad.
gets
That's
heavy.
what this movie's all about.
Gross and sad.
Grossing
You're not wrong.
grossing you out and making you feel
Sad.
sad about it.
The grossest.
Everything is so fucking tragic and melodramatic. I just love it.
The grossest sad of the season with
The
Castle
High
Freak.
melodrama.
Straight from Gunk Street.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Who picked it? Why in the history? As I said before, this is our very first patron pick. This one comes from Ricky. So I think I already elaborated on this process. So what is your history with it, and why'd you bring this to us, I guess?
I've seen it a bunch of times. It's probably my favorite Stuart Gordon film. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right now. It's cosmic horror. Y'all just don't realize it yet. No one does. Only I realize it.
Okay, we're gonna.
With your cosmic brain.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what made me suggest it exactly. I guess I kind of just wanted to hear y'all's opinions on it.
Sure. You were the last one
It's
to
one of my favorites,
suggest a movie
so
too.
It's one of my favorites. So if you need a reason, then that's it. But
Right.
I think I mentioned I saw this a long time ago for the first and only time I
time.
think before I haven't revisited it. It was probably like
Oh.
late high school when Sam and I were like working at the movie theater thing.
Oh yeah.
I'd never seen it before. I think part of the reason why we went for this one was I narrowed it down to some movies I hadn't seen before, and then Brian didn't really remember it, and I think Ross was just like, fuck it, yeah, sounds good.
Like, I've seen everything a million times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. I think the first time I saw this one was, to be totally honest with you, obviously I knew of Gordon's work, but I hadn't seen. It was the box art at the video store.
oh
Like,
yeah.
Of this, like a
That boy's scary
VHS
as
of
fuck.
this was just like super gnar because it's just Castle Freak's face. Like I
Mhm.
like the fact that they you
Yeah.
don't really see him a lot in the movie, but it's mostly just that face. And I was like, oh, I need to see this. And
I remember seeing it at the video store too when I was young, and I didn't watch it until I was much older. But yeah,
What
It
time
scared
frame
you.
was this, Ross? All you said was that you were at the video store. I have no idea how old you were.
oh man, I
Was
mean,
it 96?
I guess
Or
it would be.
But yeah, where
2006?
was it like, yeah. Because they were still around.
I guess it
mean,
would
for
have
a
to be
while enough.
Carbon dated myself. It was on VHS. I know that at the video store, so I'm assuming like
It's probably late 90s.
Okay.
yeah, late 90s, probably.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, just to put a time frame on it, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers ahead. It's spoiler time. I have a note that I can insert a funny thing if I want to, which I didn't. But first,
Feel
a
the
quick
rhythm,
synopsis.
feel the rhyme.
we-
Come on, Chuddle boys. It's spoiler time.
Sam's got us.
ooh,
It's a little Cool Runnings reference.
There we go.
All right. Spoiler zone.
So we're opening the cell and letting the spoilers out.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
exactly.
Ooh, the cell's good too.
We're-
Let's just talk about the cell.
That-
Ripping
that's
off our
actually on my list as a potential
Pulling off our
suggestion. I've
fingers.
been keeping a list or a potential
I'll put-
pick.
I'll come on for that one too. I love that
Mhm.
movie.
Saw it in theaters. We're talking. We're not here to talk about the cell.
We're here
We're
to
not
talk
really
about the cell.
talking
But
about the
I
cell.
don't have any history with the cell, so continue. John Riley, his wife Susan, and their blind teenage daughter Rebecca traveled to Italy after inheriting a 12th century castle. Soon after their arrival, things start to get freaky, as they may not be alone. A few behind the scenes on this, basically, what the movie's about and shit. And a lot of this I pulled directly just from IMDb on it. If you guys have anything to supplement with this as well, you can throw it in there. The castle used in the film, actual Italian castle, and it's actually owned by the president of Full Moon. So
really,
yeah.
That's
Charles Man's
Jesus
castle, bro.
Christ.
That's his castle. That's
I can't
He
believe.
didn't, and I don't know if you have this already, but I'll throw it out there. Like, apparently he wanted them to film the whole movie over like a weekend because he had something going on.
He had a
and Stuart
family
Gordon was
reunion
like, what the fuck?
coming up. So they would like spill blood
Oh my
everywhere, then have
God.
to quickly clean it up. And like, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Apparently, so this is all it says. Real brain matter was used for the climax of the film.
What kind of brain?
Didn't elaborate on anything there, and to be honest, I didn't
I
research
never
it
saw
farther.
any
But
brain at the end.
Are we?
For when the bodies
wait.
fall?
Wait a second. So when they drop, someone saw that and was like, you know what? The pool of blood is just not enough. Can we get some imported brain matter to scatter
brain
around
matter.
these bodies?
They're like, hold on, these cameras are so too damn good. Like, everybody's going to see there's no brain matter here. We need to put it in because
Up the
the
brains.
cameras will pick up that it doesn't have it.
Right.
exactly, you got to get the brain matter. Whatever the brain matter was, doesn't say what type of brain matter, doesn't say exactly what for, but there it's there.
Ambiguous.
According to this
ambiguous
random
brain
fact
matter.
on IMDb, there was brain matter.
Brain
You saw
matter.
it. It based slightly on H.P. Lovecraft's story, The Outsider. Ross,
Very
are you
loosely.
familiar with that?
Like loosely,
Ricky,
but
you
like
might-
a lot of it
Yeah.
is super loose.
It's super loose.
Super
There's-
loose. Like
The,
almost
the only
just
the
the
only
title.
similarity is that there is a castle. There's
And a
a
freak?
castle and
Is
there's
there
a
a freak?
freak in there.
Well, there you go. That's all you
So,
need.
You know, like
Apparently, the cast and crew gathered before filming to brainstorm on what they felt was terrifying in a film, and they used these suggestions to add to the direction of filming, which is interesting. And
Sure, they're like, all right, so what do you think's
freaks
scary?
you guys
what
out?
could we do here? Yeah.
Let's try and make that into a movie.
getting my nipple bit off.
right.
It's in the movie.
Got
If
it.
I had
Put
to
it
bite
in
off my thumb to rip off a handcuff, that'd be scary.
Oh,
That would
God.
be scary as shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The freak prosthetics and makeup took about 6 hours to apply. This is also, as we mentioned before,
That's a quarter of the weekend, dude. How are we gonna film this?
right?
Wow.
Well,
just
they probably had to start him like Thursday night
Yeah.
Probably,
off
yeah.
site somewhere.
And then he wasn't allowed to get out of that makeup for 3 solid days.
Right.
He
they
actually just stayed in it for 3 weeks.
Jesus.
He never
Well,
left.
Jonathan Fuller's a real character actor, so that was by choice.
He's
Right.
he's still there.
Yeah.
It was his brain matter. It was his
It was
real
his
brain
brain
matter.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "What are you going to go for it?" The film was blessed by the Vatican for fears of the effect on its viewers.
What?
It was wait. Was this,
What?
I don't
Hold
know.
on.
So the Vatican was
Hold
like
on.
tried to like bless the film because they're like, anyone who
That-
sees this is going to get booked.
that sounds like that sounds like if you mail your movie in and it'll get blessed by a quote unquote Vatican
But
priest.
it's
the
Actually,
Vatican,
right.
like it's
Brian
not
and I
like,
can both bless anything religious.
Whatever
if
you
you
want.
Send those to Chuddle the Pod.
That's dope.
We can bless it and send it on back to you. No problem.
My brother-in-law has
Small
a
fee.
certification too.
hell yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Ooh.
It's
It's-
dope.
Now that's a scam right there. Just pay like $40 or whatever the fuck we paid, and
Yeah.
You're that.
now you
dude.
got God magic.
Can we ordain people now? Do we have that power? Can we just start that?
Yeah.
Send us
I say you
$20.
I say you can.
Yeah.
Oh
Make
yeah,
some money off
it's-
of that shit, bro.
It's the gift
Ah.
that keeps on giving.
right.
We need
Yeah,
to start
man.
the Church of Chuddle, and then we
Church of
definitely
Chuddle.
can.
Ooh.
Oh, well, that's definitely going to be a paid
The Churtle.
paid
The
channel,
Churtle.
paid the Churtle. Ew. Yes, the Churtle, located on Gunk Street.
On Gump
Yeah.
Street.
Ross, I need you to draw me a turtle.
A
I don't care what it. I don't care what
A
it
turtle
is.
on
Just-
Gunk
just
Street?
draw
Oh,
me a
yeah.
turtle on Gunk Street.
Yeah.
I will guarantee you it's going to look really sad. It's gonna look
I mean, it sounds sad.
It's a-
It is a
It's
sad
gonna be
word.
sad.
It is
It's
a
a
sad
turtle.
looking thing, yeah.
It's gonna be sad and gross like this movie.
Oh, just like us.
Kill me! Kill me!
That's the turtle's catchphrase, actually. It's not a place, it's our pet.
This is our pet turtle.
Kill me! Kill me!
It just wants to die and we don't let it.
We found it on Gunk
Oh.
Street.
Oh, boy.
Damn.
All right.
Nice void
The,
reference.
the poster for this film was designed prior to the script being written.
Oh,
As is often done by Charles Band in Full Moon movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have
So
this
there you go.
poster, and dump enough money
Go with
into
it.
this poster, there'll be a
Yeah.
movie, we guarantee.
that's how they did Friday the 13th. It was back to back.
Yeah, that's true.
There's this
Yeah.
whole other story of like this like other company that they're like going to do it and like promote it under. The only reason I wanted to bring it up is a canceled sub label of Full Moon called Pulse Pounders. It's supposed to be
Whoa.
like this like home video not
What's up,
rated
this-
like crazy shit. It's up. It's just your boy Tube Liquor, and I'm gonna go.
Boy, Pulse
Liquor
Pounder.
with the pulse pounders. Can you
Yeah.
imagine when they tried setting that up, and then another company came in and goes, "Guys, we've had pulse pounders for about 10
We've
years
had
now."
Pulse-
You want to see our Castle Freak?
And I mean, I don't know where to go after Pulse Pounder. It's too
Pulse
good.
Pounder just killed it.
Who's
We're
got the
done.
beat?
Thanks
Pulse
for tuning
Pounder?
in. I mean, if there's anything you get out of this
All right, final
podcast tonight,
thoughts and
is that
ratings?
Pulse Pounder.
Let's do it.
It happened. There's some other things where we can talk about it in some scene stuff if it comes up. All right, get into our main stuff for tonight. We got our six questions, and to start us off, we're gonna go Six Freak. These first 6 questions are for us to get into the movie and pretty much just talk about what we like: scenes, lines, characters, scares, kills, and gore. Sam,
Yo.
kick it off.
Sure.
Why did you say
Sup.
sup? Yeah.
I forgot my brand. All right. So scenes. Let's see. So the whole movie is just so melodramatic. It's kind of cheese fun. At least it was the second time. The first time, I was just like trying to figure out exactly what was happening, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely got that paper moon, full moon. Full moon. Paper moon's a strip club.
Moon's the strip club.
Full moon
Oh.
feel to it.
Yeah.
So weird scene to pick, but I like the scene where the dad kills his son and blinds his daughter when he gets in the car wreck.
You know, Jeffrey Combs plays a pretty convincing drunk in this movie.
He overacts the hell out of every scene he's in the best way possible. I love it. Don't
as
get
is
me
his
wrong.
trademark.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
But
you know,
it's-
I
him
love Combs.
schlobbernosted is fantastic to see.
Yeah, that seems ridiculous. So,
Your
How you
mother-
doing back there, JJ?
Hey, JJ, how's it going?
oh my god,
I
yeah.
should get out from under
Yeah.
there.
Well, what do you like about it? So you like it because
I
it's
like-
ridiculous, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I like how over the top and like just the heightened melodrama of it, the music, the lighting,
Yes.
the yelling, the shots, everything is just like they really went for it hard, and
Oh
I
yeah, they did.
appreciate that.
Dude, just-
I had a feeling.
Sounds like
would.
you did not appreciate that.
I thought it was
Right.
ridiculous.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
insane.
yeah.
Dude, even the opening scene where like just this old lady is cutting up bread and salami and then grabs a fucking cat of nine tails and just starts going ham on this person. And then like I did like the transition though where she has like the heart attack and dies, and then it pans over to like the fucking wilting flowers and they go back to her. Clearly she's been there for like a month, like a week. Or a
Right.
month. She's covered in like fucking moss. Not moss, but like just
Mold.
fucking like mold. She's
moldy.
that old. She's just moss covered. No, but it's like mold and like fucking all bruised and shit. That was really ambitious for a movie with this level of budget, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool, all right. It's a good like predecessor of just like naked man whipped, dead, just mold covering everything. Okay, all
Which
right.
so
that's
how
sick.
did he manage to survive that long before catching that cat?
He had to eat his penis.
Because you don't see it.
No,
You
you
don't
don't see it. So he's like, how do you think he got it off with them long fingernails?
I guess. I don't know.
Because he'd have to cut it off to eat it. Unless
don't know.
unless he's a real freak and can you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
he did that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
he learned to suck his own dick because he's been locked up there forever.
Well, what was the because he wouldn't have like died of like dehydration or anything like that because he was like licking the stones with the dribble.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
he had a water source at least.
He's probably
It was like
done
a
that his
hamster.
whole life. I have a feeling like she never gave him water. She was just like, it condensates on the walls in there. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because
My
like
little
what
spite
he was.
baby.
So if
My
we're
little
getting our
castle freak.
timeline right, he was 5 when
She
the-
faked his death.
not
Right.
yeah, at least the mom did, and was like,
Right.
well, fuck you, you're going back to America. I'm just gonna keep your kid in a kennel forever. So like that's so like this kid's like the castle freak's like 45 years old, almost ish,
What was it? It said he was born in like 47 or something like that, right?
'Cause he
And
was,
then
like-
the movie's
Yeah.
95.
yeah. Well, he said the kid was 5 when he died, and then it would have been 40 years since that.
Well,
So
Yeah,
then
he should be
then
like
it would be
45.
45.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
That math I can do easily if that's what was said.
Yeah, but I do like that. That's a long gap of time, like just in a cell starving to death. I mean, I'm assuming that's probably why he ate the cat. But
Well, he didn't.
Uh,
It wasn't 40 years between her
no.
dying.
Well, it's like she
Oh,
dies.
it was just like a week or two or a month.
It was
or
however
whatever,
long that it
something.
took for that mold.
Because he was getting fed. He got fed and whipped,
yeah,
Right. He got
daily.
fed and whipped for 40 years.
Yeah,
which
That's what
turns
happened.
you into
castle
Castle freak.
a
Castle
castle
freak.
freak, supposedly. All right. So
Yeah.
one of my favorite scenes is towards
It's a
the
real
end.
barbarian situation.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
It's the
When-
Italian barbarian.
When
that's the first thing I said
Barbarian.
after I saw Barbarian was, oh man, this is like big Castle Freak vibes.
Like,
Yeah.
this is an American castle freak.
An American Castle Freak in Italy.
Ooh,
That's the movie I want to see.
You may go now, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
at the end, when the castle freak realizes Rebecca's blind, and he's like kind of like sad about it or something. He's like,
He's like, oh.
He was-
Yeah,
He
bro.
was-
He's
he
like
was-
trying to show her the picture, like,
yeah. He's like a Muppet. He's like a fucked up looking Muppet holding up his 5-year-old picture like a yearbook photo, and he's like, meh, 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 ah, ah,
That's all I'm saying.
Big sad.
Big
I
Super
thought
big
so. I had
sad.
never seen this. Didn't know what I was getting into. I thought for sure with the blind girl and this castle freak, it was going to be a Beauty and the Beast situation.
Oh God.
they were going there, and then they took a hard
Well,
right.
he
he
she's
wanted
even, like,
it that way.
Oh, he
I
did.
think he
Oh.
wanted that, yeah.
Yeah,
Big
he
time,
wanted that
but-
way.
She even mentions it. She's like, when I get a boyfriend, it will have to be love because,
Mhm.
like, he'll be with a blind girl and I won't be able to see him. So, whatever.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's. I mean,
And-
they are fucked up scenes, but it's like the castle freak trying to recreate and reinitiate like a sex
Right.
scene is so.
There's
fucking
something
Because he watched the
gross.
dad fuck that
Terrifying.
prostitute.
Yeah, because
Right.
he watched. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
The scene where the what's his name, the castle freak Giorgio,
Giorgio.
where he first goes into the daughter's room and he's like all around her, which I realize so far in the full moon movies we've done, there's a lot of like POV and sounds,
Right.
but
Mhm.
the way when she like wakes up and freaks out and he freaks out and just steals the sheet and ran away with the sheet, I thought that was so funny. And he was like,
Yeah, it cracks me up, too.
I'll take this sheet. Like,
Okay, honestly, when he's when Jeffrey Combs goes through that room that has all the white sheets on it, and then you're sitting there going like, and you're like, clearly like, okay, he's sitting in that chair.
That gets me every time. I never see him before he moves.
I didn't see it either.
Well,
I've seen it like 6 times, and I never see it.
Ross was like, it's obviously right there.
No. I was like, he's in the chair, but then he goes, there's no chair. He's just in a fucking...
it's just him.
It's just him in a squat position. I was like, he's doing it so well, I thought he was sitting in a chair. I was like, fuck. Oh my God.
No, I thought that was pretty effective, actually. It surprised me.
Oh, yeah, it gets me every fucking time, man.
Honestly, like, this, not since, like, Halloween with Bob the Ghost has, like, a white sheet been that intrinsic into this movie. Like, it's the stealing of it, and then wrapping himself up in it, and then slowly having it get gnarlier and bloodier as the movie progresses is such a cool idea. Because he's already freaky looking, so you already know what he looks like.
It was probably necessary to be like, all right, we showed him, now we can not do that makeup all the time until we need to show him again at the end.
That's probably, yeah.
Right.
That's very true.
Smart for multiple reasons.
Why would he care about wearing it as a character?
I mean, I guess if you've been naked for 40 years, you may want to
like the way he looks, though. He smashes that mirror, bro.
Oh, he thinks he's hideous.
And he's trying to get some blind girl action, dude. So he's like, let me wrap up.
Well, he doesn't know that, though.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. He's like,
well, he's just trying to get some action,
he doesn't. He's been locked up in this castle for 40 years. He's like,
already had to eat my wiener.
All right, well, looking in the mirror, this isn't going to work. I'm going to make this cool sheet costume thing, mask, and then
I gotta look less threatening.
Also, okay, I think probably to me the most
in a fucking sheet.
The most ridiculous kill for me in this entire movie, and there's like a few ones that are questionable. The kitchen one where he's in the chimney flume and he just gets he just sucks that
drops
dude up and
sucks that guy off the screen, bro.
Pulls a Krampus and just goes like,
oh yeah, that's nice. I like how he does use his chains well. Okay, so there is a fact that I did leave out that I found on IMDb as well, with the whole wiener situation of our Castle Freak. And so there's another podcast out there called The Flophouse, and they have something that the fans dub Ding Dong Gate, because I guess apparently on every episode, one of the hosts insists that Giorgio rips off his own genitals, is what he says. But apparently Stuart Gordon responded to a tweet from a fan and confirmed that no, Giorgio did not rip off his own ding dong, as it says here. So I don't know where it got ripped off or who did it.
Dude, his mom might have did it. She was scary.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
Honestly,
that's something a mom like
that's
that
the only
do,
answer. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, if
you
ever
made a cat,
maybe
maybe the cat got it.
It's father-son relation.
Dude,
cat's got your dick,
I would have
bro.
ate that cat too if it would have did that to me.
That's that's why he went after the cat.
You eat my dick, I'm gonna eat your whole body.
Yeah, well, he kind of
well,
does.
you know, your guts and throw you aside.
Yeah,
the middle
he just
part.
ate the cat's wiener and left.
Where the dick was.
The organ area.
Yeah, he doesn't know where a cat's wiener is, so he just went for what he thought was right. An eye for an eye
should be around here somewhere. A wiener for a wiener. Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
I like the theory that the cat got his wiener. That's my favorite.
The cat.
What's the matter? Cat got
it
your wiener?
justifies the cat's death.
What's the matter? Cat got your...
It does.
Cat got your wiener, bro.
I do like towards the end.
That's
also,
what she said.
I'm gonna start saying that. Be like,
cat got your wiener. What's the matter? Cat got your wiener.
Wiener.
In what situation?
Whenever the situation, I'd say cat got your tongue.
You'll know when the situation will arise. You'll know when you need to say that.
If your wife says it, it's not a good thing.
You
know, it means you're underperforming.
No.
Was the cat got your wiener?
Sorry, I can't come out tonight. Like,
cat's
got my wiener.
I swear, this has never happened to me before. What's the problem? Cat got your wiener? I like when our Castle Freak has like freak powers because he's able to like jump out the window and onto the ground,
which is wild.
Out the second floor window, and no problem.
Well, kind of.
That cat gives him strength.
He hobbles around a lot. I'm assuming once he landed, he shattered both ankle bones.
Powers.
But he's so fueled on rage, he just kind of like waddled his way through the rest of the movie.
Got those 9 lives.
I assume he's really good at accepting pain. Like he's got a high pain tolerance. But that doesn't explain why he didn't like break his ankles.
Right. And just like hobble around.
Like he can't
I
have
could
that
accept the fact that, you could probably beat the shit out of this guy and he won't care, but why didn't he break his ankles?
Yeah.
And there's no way he can have like
weak as fuck.
Right. Based on the amount of nutrition that he's getting.
All he's had is a wiener.
Super
and movement.
Yeah.
Which
I guess is kind of like the benefit of this movie. Well,
he's probably hardly getting any vitamin D.
It's not like he's some mutant, you know what I mean?
I just want to see the version where he jumps out the window and his legs just collapse and crush underneath him.
But he has a high pain tolerance, so he just starts crawling without even like... the violin. So much violin in this motherfucker.
I love it. Huge. I love it too.
I do like the fact, though, in this Gordon movie, that this is probably one of the most based in reality movies he's done. In the fact of like, this is just a dude trapped in a fucking thing.
It's not supernatural.
Years. Yeah, exactly. Like this is just like a weird creature dude, which makes it more like, oh god.
So how? Yeah, but like,
who made the monster? We made the monster.
We made.
Well, technically the Duchess.
We are
technically
the
Duchess
man.
made this monster.
Yeah. We are the monster. Like that's why this movie is cosmic, because like humanity is a construct, and when you take that away, we're all just a bunch of little freaks, bro. Suddenly, sex and violence and food are all the same fucking thing, and we're just out there eating each other's wieners and nipples.
Yeah.
Once you take away our humanity, I suppose so.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. It's cosmic.
Kill. What are the things?
I don't know.
Dude, Agnes's kill was fucking wild. So, like, seeing
Agnes's is the most brutal in my opinion.
So
dude.
gross, especially when you see the aftermath after the cops show up. Is like also okay. I really like the
idea of being bludgeoned to death with a chain is just
it's gnarly, and that the gore bladder fucking head smush that you see afterwards is just so good. Also, I do like the fact that the police that are there don't put one and one together. It's like, why would you lead the police all the way down to this place to show an empty coffin 15 feet away from two corpses?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't they be like, and then he goes, oh my God. Like, you would probably assume that he's like, he's a dumb American, but not that dumb. I also do like the fact that the lawyer was trying to cover up the murder and by blackmailing him a bunch of more money.
I love that too.
He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite characters.
The lawyer and the cop are my two favorite characters.
When he pulls the stick out and he's just like, I didn't kill her. Bro, I just fucked her.
just knocks him and he's like out. We don't see him again until he mysteriously shows up, right?
Mysteriously shows up to save the day.
Yeah. I did like the line when he does say, whipping boy.
Yeah.
Why would she have a whip? And just pulls it all together there.
That's all it takes.
Awesome. Fantastic.
That's that classic thing, man. I love that shit.
My favorite line was when the one cop that got sucked off screen, he's missing, and the other cop's sleeping, and Barbara Crampton comes out and she's like, "Hello, you were supposed to bring us water, agua, snap that, get to it." I'm like, snappy. Jesus Christ, like
damn,
these cops are just her servant. Yeah.
I get Barbara Crampton's character in this movie. I just did not like her as a character. Like,
I love her though.
I get where she's coming from.
She's so good though at this role, bro.
Yes.
Like, and it's nice to see her. And I mean, I guess she is like kind of sexualized at the end, but like, I mean, she's an attractive woman, and she's always highly sexualized in the movies she's in.
It's true.
But in this one, they really lean into the mom thing.
Big time.
Oh yeah, and that overprotective. Really, like
I dig
everything's
it, man. I really dig it.
Yeah. Well, I think with her character, I think it's what she plays well.
Sweetie, you'll get a cold.
Oh God, just having the like admitting it's like, I just want what's best for you because I want to do this for you and this friend. And then the second her daughter starts talking, she's just ignoring every single word that she says the entire movie. It's like she has Charlie Brown parrot voice. The second she starts talking, it's like womp 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 womp.
I liked at the end when they're leaving and the cop start walking up and they're like, hey, I don't know how to tell you this. We have to search your house or your castle, not house. And she's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And she's like, and we need to talk to your husband. She's like, fine, we're fucking leaving. We're out of here.
Right.
And they're like, no, you gotta stay. But just that she's like so over it at the end. She's like, go do whatever the fuck you want to my husband. I am leaving. Like, fuck that guy. Because also his crazy over the top drunkenness when what is clearly a prostitute walks up didn't sneak past me on this one. I was like, she must be a prostitute. I'm smart.
But also but also like the sister, is it the sister of the police officer?
Snuck past him, bro.
I thought it was, it's the sister. No. I thought
someone's related to them. To the prostitute.
I thought it was the police officer's son is with
her child.
Yeah, that little boy that he's with at the end
with
is her son and his son. That's why he got mad when he said he fucked her and hit her with the thing. Well, but it's like it's like she's, because watching it the second time, the way he's like watching them the whole time during the bar scene, and then they're like arguing with each other in Italian, and it's clearly like he's like, I fucking told you to stop being a prostitute. She's like, I'm gonna make my money. You know what I mean?
I think he's just worried about the kid. You know what I mean? Like
it's like
he
Italian,
doesn't want her to be running off with strangers and shit.
Right? He's totally worried about the kid. I think this movie is somehow they're supposed to be what a good father-son relationship is. Because then we get our main guy is not a good father-son relationship because he killed his kid being drunk, and then his dad left the lady, which created this monster from having a bad father-son relationship.
Right.
Which leads us to Italian.
This movie is about
Roxanne.
family, is what you're getting at.
Don't put on that red light.
So then
gore.
Did we talk about scares though? I didn't.
No, I don't know what scares there.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is, the thought of a naked freak boy running around trying to rape everything in sight is pretty scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's scary.
But jump scares?
He's just a scary individual.
Yeah, jump scares or even just like tonally scary moments where you're anticipating something to happen.
Yeah. Didn't really feel it.
There are no moments.
For me, I don't know if it's because of the grittiness, like the atmosphere, because that's something this movie has. There's a lot of atmosphere, in my opinion. And the tone of it has this dread thing for me.
Heavy.
Especially since I know what's coming now. And I'm like, oh, that freaky boy's right there. He's about to get you, girl, run. You know? But as like you said, as far as like scares, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of it any time where the times where I was felt it was the gore part.
The gore.
When he's in the girl Rebecca's room and he's being a freak, like that's creepy to me. But it's not like a
I guess it's
not a jump scare.
It's more creepy, off-putting than like scary.
But still, I wasn't even that concerned about what he was gonna do. Like it didn't build up any sense of dread in me.
Freak's gonna freak.
I was like, if I'm in this situation with the castle freak, I'm not going to like it and I'm going to be scared. But like, as in watching this moment, I'm like, okay, castle freak's going to freak. I'm watching him freak.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the gore, as we said, like once we get into that, though, it does get pretty intense.
The fucking thumb thing. The breaking out of the handcuffs, like biting off his thumb and then it's still kind of hanging on and he's trying to like get his hand through and he finally pulls it through and his thumb flies off on the ground.
Why didn't he eat that thumb?
That leads me to believe that he didn't eat his wiener because that's just another thing to eat. And then, I don't know, doesn't he put that cuff on and off a few other people? Why doesn't he need to rip any other thumbs off? He's probably a pretty skinny boy, like.
Right? Or he's just
got giant off everybody else.
He's not just a castle freak, he's a regular freak.
He's a Houdini freak.
He just happened to be in a castle. That's why he's still so muscled and everything.
Well, I just like to. I
You
mean,
should have seen him if
he's
he
not
was
getting
nourished.
the protein, but like if like I
Right.
imagine like when we're not seeing him, he's just in his cell. Like he has a thing that he's like gripping the wall and doing pull-ups, doing push-ups, doing like a whole prison
You
workout.
should see all his chain exercises. He
Just
figures
looks
out
like-
a way
yeah.
to like jump
does
rope
like
with
the-
him. Oh
you
yeah,
know,
he
like
does
the rope thing.
Yeah, where
Just
you
looks like
like
something-
wave him.
Looks like somebody had a Cape Fear. He's just doing pull-ups and just push-ups, just staring at a wall with a picture of his father.
That's the version I want to see.
Is that the remake? The 20 the remake, just like
Another
super
remake.
jacked.
Y'all should watch the remake. It's a
Bro
lot
freak.
different, but yeah, it's not like that. Bro freak.
Bro freak.
Gym freak.
He kills like a Monster Energy drink within the first 10 minutes.
Just crushes
That's
it on
the
his
first
head.
kill.
That's
Yeah,
First-
it's a monster that rolls into his cell, and he's
This
like,
movie fucking rips. First kill is a Monster Energy drink, bro. Crushes it.
I do, yeah, I know. I do agree. Like, I think the first two kills, which would be the prostitute and then Agnes, were like super intense, and they were also like back to back. Where it's like
Yeah.
you see her get attacked and kind of like bit and a bunch of other weird shit before that, but then like when Agnes walks in on just all of the just bite marks and the cutting and all that crazy shit.
and the
They-
fact that she's still alive.
Mm.
the
Yes.
nipple bite.
Oh.
The nipple bite was hard to watch
Oh god.
because it like rips right off there, like
Yeah.
pulled out,
Rip her
ripped off.
vagina off too, bruh. Fuck all that, dude. That's so
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
It's
There's-
so
I mean,
fucked up.
He's a little freak.
That's more. I don't know.
I don't even know. if
I feel like Freak's a little too fun for that.
Predator.
He's a little freaky
Deranged.
predator. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's
Deranged,
also
that's
tragic. You know, like
Yeah,
Sure.
this is someone that
Yeah.
doesn't know. Like at an
Totally.
early age, they got fucked up, probably being malnourished, being
Oh, I mean, like-
definitely tortured.
No isolation, you know.
Yeah.
Right,
They
like,
talk-
like
they
this
talk-
dude,
The
this,
only
this
person
dude
you
doesn't
know
how to be a person.
Beats you every time
Yeah.
they bring
Beats
you
you.
food.
Right.
Yeah, like he doesn't know how to be a person. Like he
And
could.
rip
There
your
was
head
no
off.
hope for this guy.
They talk about solitary confinement for like a month could psychologically break you. If
Yeah,
you're in there
I'm
for
sure.
40 years, like that's a completely different fucking yeah. I mean, like I'm surprised
it totally.
I'm surprised he was
deforms your
freaking
skin,
how he was freaking. He
Totally.
might just be
changes.
Imagine the castle freak re-entering society.
getting a job,
that'd be
just
good
getting a
one,
job.
where it's like, wait,
Oh,
he
I-
can be taught.
He goes get a job like pushing carts at
That's
Walmart, just like
That's how it started. And then, that's it. So this is actually a series. We need like 5 seasons, and that's where it starts. And by the end, he's
Ooh.
running Walmart.
he's just Jeff Bezos at the end.
Yeah, totally.
So- okay,
He's just
so it starts
actually
off
Jeff
really-
Bezos, gets plastic surgery and shit.
Starts off
Wow.
this guy inherits this castle.
crazy, and then it turns into like billions or whatever.
Yeah, or secession.
Secession.
Or something. Yeah, totally.
A bunch
A
of Castle
real
Freaks
crazy
trying to do it.
progression. I'd like to see that. All right, so I mean, anything else that you want to say on the gore, the kills, or anything like that? I mean,
I think the
we
cop
hit a lot
kills
of
were
things.
like a little meh.
they
You know?
were, but I mean, I like the face biting.
Face bite. I
The
thought that was
face
very
bite was
effective. I
gnarly.
meant
That
to
was
bring that
gnarly.
up, actually.
Did he get his eye? It looked like he got his eye.
It's like part of his eye socket got
Yeah, it's
bro.
brief, but
Fuck
it's
that guy
good.
up.
And actually, did not
I
like
was
a
eating-
scary gore, but when he breaks the wine bottle and his hand's cut and bleeding, I thought it looked good.
Oh,
like
totally.
just practically, I thought that
Mhm.
looked really good.
I was actually quite surprised on the, I guess, how couth the car accident scene was. I was thinking like that if, because of how gory everything was, the car accident scene would be like an obvious one to do something like over the top, and they wound up
Yeah.
not doing it. And I thought that was
I
kind of
thought-
an
I think they
interesting
should
choice.
have.
You mean
But,
gore
yeah.
wise, because
Yeah.
it's extremely over the top, like
Oh,
They had
Totally.
that
acting-wise.
I
car
don't-
going 15 miles an hour, bro.
And it flipped like some out of
Crazy.
Fast and Furious. Yeah, no,
It
I'm
did.
just like,
That's
but like
cool.
the level of blood and stuff like that, that would be an ample opportunity to do something super intense.
right.
But they decided like, nah, let's like almost leave it a dream sequence and move on from there.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I thought the gore too when he shows himself to the daughter at the end, and the like chunk of his cheek that
missing
missing.
And shit.
I thought that looked really
the
great.
Exposed teeth and bone is so good.
Yeah, the prosthetics on the freak are top notch.
Really good
for
stuff.
sure.
Love it.
Top notch freakery.
Top-notch freakery will take us right into our break for tonight, where we will come back and finish off with our back end. And we're back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Joining the club, having a chat. God damn it, Sam. Just ready to fuck everything up. All right, here we go. The next 6. We're going to the Castle 6. First question. Would we survive? I say yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it depends. Am I just looking in a chimney and getting sucked up by a chain? Or
he does have I will say he does have home field advantage if we're in the castle.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't seen most of it since
in the
he's
castle.
5 years old, though.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, he does not know shit.
He just knows the kids' room. That's
Depending how long we've been there, we might have the advantage.
Exactly.
Very true. Yeah, no, this one it's a high survival. Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends. Like it really depends where I run into him. Do I run into him on the rooftop in a rainstorm? Do I run into him in the basement? Is somebody just like, hey, there's a freak here killing people, you shouldn't be here? This is a tough one. For this, would we survive? I feel like
I would shoot that boy. I'm just saying, I would shoot that boy.
Also,
I wouldn't play with him.
We could do Monster Squad rules because Castle Freak got nards. You see that? You see his?
Oh yeah, he got nards for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just
he gets the kick to him.
Yeah, right there.
I mean, yeah, I'm not worried about the Castle Freak. I think we could.
I think we'd survive.
Because I think a little bit more realistic, like I said, I think he does not have any bone density. He's not been getting any sunlight. Like, I think you could literally just crack him.
This is a malnourished, has scurvy.
Exactly.
A scurvy freak, bro.
Scurvy freak.
Yeah. Well, citrus freak.
He wishes. All right, so did anything pull you out of the movie? I mean,
yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, once I realized what sort of tone I was dealing with, it didn't pull me out anymore because I was like happy to be there. But it's a movie that's hard to be into.
Sure, that makes sense. I mean, I guess not better question, to join it up with the next question. What kind of tone or vibe did it have?
Somber. Like, this is just a bummer ride, the whole ride.
Yeah.
With gore.
Heavy melodramatic. It's like so steeped in its drama that it becomes campy. Yeah. It's hard to take too seriously, which on my first watch it was like it almost made me want to speed through it. But on the second time I was enjoying it because I knew what I was getting into. It's like on a TV show where it's like people tell you it's so funny and you watch an episode and you're like, but then once you get to know the characters, it's better.
Like, oh, yeah.
It's kind of that way for this.
Sure.
Got you.
That makes sense. So is there anything about the movie that's unusual for this genre? The genre of what? Castle Freaks?
Freakery.
Freakery. Home, familial imprisonment.
I mean, it had Beauty and the Beast vibes, right? Ish, and that there's a castle and a beast.
A freak?
Right.
There's a freak on a leash.
There it is. I was waiting for this. I was seeing how long it would take. Yeah, I mean, anything unusual for the genre? No, I think within what it is, it's doing what it does. If that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed. Like, I can't think of how many Castle Freak movies I've watched. I don't think I've seen many.
Well, it plays the monster genre well. It plays like it does it all.
Even from a creature feature standpoint, it kind of just does the creature
feature
feature
all
thing.
the stuff. Yeah,
sure,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, what's the message of this movie? Don't fuck around on people.
Fuck around and find out, or at least your kids.
Be good to your kids
will.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Like, don't fuck around. Like, don't. Yeah. Otherwise, a duchess will become upset about you leaving and condemn a child.
Well, there's definitely there's definitely the conduct of father's vibe throughout this entire movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Fathers, take care of your kids.
Yes.
Because the monster becomes a monster. The mom does it to him, but it's because of the father leaving. She does it out of spite.
Mhm.
And then his kid he kills his kid in a drunk driving accident, blinds his other kid. And so he has to kill the monster to sort of, I guess that's maybe his way of trying to be a good dad. And then the guy we know is trying to be a good dad, the Italian cop, is at the end like tips his cap or something to
Thanks
kind
a
of be
lot
like,
for this
see,
kid.
you should be like
He's
these
like-
two.
He's like, oh,
Right.
everything's fine now because your husband killed himself.
Right.
We're
Yeah,
even.
right.
That's all I
He
We're
wanted.
even now. It's
He
good.
should have let us look through the castle the second time.
Should have fucked my boy's baby mama, my baby mama.
All right. So, was this a setting you were familiar with? I'm going to say not really. I haven't spent
No.
much time in an Italian castles.
Yes, no.
Gotta hit up the
Alien
guy
to
who
me.
runs full moon.
Yeah.
Get invited over to his house.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to like amusement parks with castle themes.
Sure, and I haven't watched a ton of castle things. I feel like the most
I've been doing it
time-
medieval times once or twice.
The castle genre is very low on my totem
Yeah,
pole list.
the most
yeah.
time I've spent in a castle is in Harry Potter stuff. And that's like not horror, you know what I mean? So even though I've spent some time in the castle universe, if you will,
the Castleverse.
Castleverse,
And that
yeah.
is not
Yeah.
well,
that's
that
not the
is
first-
the TV show with Nathan Fillion.
which I've spent way too much time in. All right, so we got 6 more. This is Six Freak remake. Villain level 1 through 10. What would you rate the freak of this castle? I gave him a
man,
5.
I think he's a
tough.
10.
Of course you do.
Yeah,
I just think he's scary
Um,
and he's gross, and I feel bad for him, but I also want to watch his brains on the ground. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd probably realistically I'd probably give him like, y'all hear that? Cat screaming in the
Meow.
background.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
no.
got a castle freak.
Was there a castle fear trying to
What's the
eat
matter?
cat?
Cat got your wiener?
Cat got my wiener, I guess. Realistically, I guess I'd have to give him like an 8. Because like anybody could kill the castle freak, man. Like if you're
Sure,
Prepared.
yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's why I gave him a 5.
I'll give
He's-
him an 8 because he's stylistically he's just rad.
Mhm.
He looks rad. He's got a
Mhm.
tragic past.
I think I'm gonna go with the same thing I did for gore level and give him a 6.5. Because like I like him, he's like kind of strong, but I also don't love him because just like you know how he gets down. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for me to quite figure it out. But 6.5 feels right to my heart.
That's fine. Yeah,
I was,
that works.
verbatim. Mine's like a 6.5 to a 7. Just because that sheet is so gross. He's
Oh, yeah.
just so gross.
House is really scared of white sheets, especially with blood.
With blood. Oh man, he's
He's
like
creepy.
he's like a fucked up Casper running through the house. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just it's
He's
yeah.
scary looking, bro.
Yeah, visually, again, in a fight would be completely one sided. But
All right, so yeah, I mean, I think that places right around again. Same with our gore level, 6.5 or so, with it
Yeah.
kind of averaged out. Does this deserve a sequel, or should there be a sequel? I said
I'd
no.
say it's pretty final. No.
But
Yeah.
with what we came up with him actually living in the end and becoming
getting a
incorporated
job.
into society, I'm on board with that.
Castle Freak pays taxes.
And let's turn this castle freak into a castle
Chic.
person. Castle freak to castle chic.
Castle chic. Yeah, absolutely.
Castle chic.
He goes on Queer Eye.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Just Jonathan Van Ness fixing his hair.
And they have to
Oh,
avoid
his-
him
his
like
poor hair.
biting him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, oh please, I love it.
He's like,
Tan's gonna teach him a French tuck.
Of course.
All right.
And then they'll just remake over that castle as well. All right, so yeah, not necessarily needed. Does anyone want the soundtrack or score on vinyl? That's a big no for
I'd jam
me.
it.
This
jam
is the first one I might say yes to. It is so over. Like I would not listen to it per se, but I feel like if I wanted to set some kind of vibe, this is what it would be. Like,
For sure.
It's
got that castle vibe.
It's a fun tone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure when I need to utilize it, but it's a good tool to have in your bag, so to speak.
For sure.
Just to have...
It's got that Charles Band sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Charles Band, the full moon sound is like distinct.
Sure.
It's distinct.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what it is, but I know I always recognize it when I hear it.
I would honestly just have the vinyl for the cover art and then play it every Halloween.
Sure.
Another one on the Halloween rotation.
I'd play it whenever I needed to break bad news to somebody.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the worst news.
Interesting.
And then play like the
Sam's
little,
putting
like,
on the
weird
Castle Freak
segments.
soundtrack again. Something
Oh,
bad's
God.
about to come.
Yeah.
Why is the
little-
Castle Freak
little
soundtrack
baby
out?
music.
No,
the
tell
little
me, why
baby
is it
sound.
out? Don't put it on. Tell me why it's out.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
your kids are gonna like become like conditioned to know that the Castle Freak soundtrack means
It's bad
dad
news.
is not happy. All right. Is anything action figure worthy? Yes, the
A
freak
Castle
himself
Freak action figure?
for
The
sure.
Freak, for sure.
Done.
Yeah.
Sheet. I want the sheet variant. I'd prefer, as
I think
cool as
there
it
is
looks,
one.
I'd prefer
Hmm.
to have it sheeted. It is a cool look.
I would like my freak sheeted.
Mhm.
For sure.
A
Or maybe,
sheeted
you
freak.
know, that the
like my
sheet is
freak in the
actual
sheets.
cloth, so you could take it on and off.
Ooh.
For sure.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm
good.
uh,
I want one of each.
I'm okay with that, but I want one of like but I also want like a sheeted, but like that's still like plastic or whatever like that.
I want him to have an
'Cause
actual
I know if it's
articulatable
removable,
chain
Ooh.
and a
It's just
whip
gonna get
too.
lost.
Interchangeable heads. So like the sheet goes down, the pops in, pops out, so you can just have like either version.
now I'm just losing
I
heads.
just have two. Yeah.
I just have to.
Yeah.
All right, so
I want
what
the
is
whip? I want the chain.
Ooh.
I want it all.
what's the merch or prop that you would want from the film? I said a bloody sheet.
I want the whip.
A whip is a good
The
one.
whip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
His chain.
Oh, a chain, that'd be a
Chain would
good.
be
Or I guess the sub question
Mountain
to this
Oysters.
is what is
Oh,
the
yes, the
promotional
thumb.
item?
The thumb.
A thumb
I would
thumb
want the
drive.
thumb.
A
thumb
Oh,
drive.
thumb drive is the promotional item. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For today, I mean, yeah, for the remake, they but like
Sure, right.
it'd
Then
be
the
handed
promo
out-
item just would have been like a hat that said Castle Freak. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
That's not that fun.
Charlie Band's castle. I'll take that. I want his
yeah.
castle.
Sure.
Oh yeah, so you could win tickets to like go stay
A
there.
tour.
Yeah, you win tickets for a tour. You don't actually get invited to stay there or get tickets
Right.
to Italy or anywhere to stay. But should you make it there, you can tour the
You
castle.
can take a tour. It's perfect.
Or you can stay in the Castle Freak cell for $50 a night.
That'd
Ugh.
be dope. I'd do it.
I would
No,
do-
thank you.
No thanks.
Only if
Ricky
they beat
being
me
there
when they
drinking
bring
that-
me moldy bread and sausage.
Absolutely.
I want the
Mhm.
Castle Freak treatment for one night.
He wants to
Oh,
drink that
interesting.
wall water.
Cat of nine tails and everything. Drink
Yeah,
wall
bud.
water. Lose a thumb. Have
Cat
a cat
bites your
eat your
wiener.
Cat,
All right.
Cat scratch fever.
Last question of this one. What do you do at the midnight showing? So this is like if, when people go and watch the movie The Room, they throw spoons at the screen and all that kind of stuff. My suggestion is to throw rubber nipples at the screen.
Oh,
sure.
Rubber nipples would be great.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
a really good one.
Yeah.
Rubber nipples would be fantastic.
I'm trying to think of anything relating to alcohol that you could throw at
A empty bottle of
the
Jack
dad
Daniels.
character.
Wine corks.
White corks.
Everyone
Bring your
just-
wine corks.
Wine corks.
And
That's
when
good.
and when he finally gives in and drinks, everyone
Mm.
just pelts the screen with wine corks.
That's good. That's a
Oh,
good
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Mhm. Wine corks and rubber nipples.
I think
Perfect.
so, yeah.
Everyone just bring your bag of each and you'll be set for the night. All right. It's time to jump into our ratings now. So let's, I don't know, pull out our teeth and start chomping down and ripping some fingers off. Because on this show, we like to use a rating scale of 0 to 5 fingers, each finger adding to the score. More fingers chopped off, better score. Don't forget you can chud off half a finger. You can
Shut
just
up.
chud it right off.
I'm gonna shut off half a finger dog.
As well as no fingers. We have a scale that we go by to rank it, and Sam was our guy who made that.
This is a Chuddle scale.
That's good. That's good.
And he calls it the Chuddle scale. So I'm going to have him go first and lead us off for tonight.
What's this
I'm
movie
tired.
called? Castle Freak? Alright. So, was it engaging? Yes, definitely engaging. Full finger for engaging. Was it sticky? I'm gonna give it half a finger for sticky. I gotta be honest. So after my stopping in my ratings right now, after my first watch, it would have been a lot lower than it is now after my second watch and after talking about it with everybody. T-shirtable, get a 0.5 there too, because of that Castle Freak boy. He could be a fun shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Cockles. Again, first viewing didn't work for my cockles. Second viewing totally worked for my cockles. So that will get it a 0.5, right in the middle. And rewatchable, I would have thought no after my first watch, but after my second watch, I could see myself watching this again sometime. So that's another 0.5, which gets it up to a 3 out of 5, which is like double what I expected.
Sure, makes sense.
Right.
Right. So the 3 from Sam. Ross, how are you rating this one tonight?
I was definitely engaged. This one's gonna get a full pointerino from me. Sticky, I'm gonna give it like 0.5 on the sticky meter, just because like the story's pretty much concluded. So like it didn't really like resonate with me. Didn't have any open-ended questions. But that Castle Freak, that Castle Freak is so good. That character design, the prosthetics stuck in my mind more than anything. T-shirtable, absolutely. That is a full 1 for me. I could see myself having a gothic as hell looking castle with a weird Castle Freak face just in the middle of like the weird,
Like in the portcullis.
Yes.
I believe it's called.
Lit up by a lightning strike.
Oh, yeah.
I know that word from the Princess Bride.
Cockles, oh man, I'm gonna give it like a 0.5 because I mean, sheeted freak, it's got me. That got me. It was like homicidal sheet ghost.
He's a freak in the sheets.
He's a freak in the sheets. He is.
Mm-hmm.
Rewatchable, I'm gonna give that a full 0.2. I think I'm gonna give that one a full 1 because like this one, not all the time, but enough.
Sure, that gives you 4 out of 5.
4
Does
out
that
of
feel
5.
right in your heart?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the Castle Freak's a weird one, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. All right, I will go next. So for engaging, I gave this one a 0.5. I was engaged enough to see what was going on. Was in and out of it, I'd say. So 0.5.
Sure.
Sticky, I give this a 0.5 as well. The only reason I'm gonna continue thinking about I think Castle Freak is because it's fun to call everything a freak.
Yeah.
As Sam has
It
said
is.
before. Yeah. So that's why we get our 0.5. T-shirtable, give it a 0.5 as well. I think there is some cool design to it. I don't know if I'd own a Castle Freak t-shirt though, but I could see myself with I don't know. It gets it right in the middle.
When I find it.
Yeah.
Because I know the imagery is certainly cool enough to put on a t-shirt. But do I want people knowing I'm a Castle Freak? I don't know. Cockles.
Right. 0.5.
Cockles, it gets a 0, unfortunately. This didn't do much for me. I remember watching it when I was younger and being like, this was fun. But yeah, to rewatch it again, I was like, it's nothing one way or the other is getting stirred up in me.
Mm-hmm.
And then rewatchable, I say I will give it a 0.5. I would rewatch this in a group setting again and probably have more fun with it that way. But I don't see myself returning it to it, just being like, I need to throw on some Castle Freak.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That's 2
So what
out
does
of
that
5.
give? That's a 2. Yeah.
Does that feel
Sure,
right?
Sure. That feels perfect to me.
Cool.
Ricky, we're going to go over to you. You can scale it however you want.
This is one of my favorites. It's my favorite from Stuart Gordon. I'm gonna work with your scale, and then I'm gonna probably drone on for a while.
Sure.
So it gets a 1 for everything. There you go. There's my scale.
All right, perfect. 5 fingers.
So 5 fingers. There's something about the contrast of the grossness and how fucked up and tragic it is right next to like the Lifetime melodramatic shit that makes me laugh. That I love about this movie, because I never know, my mind never knows when I should be laughing or sad or feel gross.
Sure.
Yeah,
something about that I love.
Very true.
And that's just because of the way I view the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one reason it's special to me. I also really dig that this is the only movie that I can think of from Stuart Gordon that's, all right, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back because I just thought of another one. But this was, I think this was like just an attempt at making a more mature movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like Sam said, like they just fucking went for it, and it came out kind of lifetimey, but I love it. I don't know. I guess I thought I had more to say about it than I did.
That's
all right.
But I
That's
don't,
perfect.
man. I'm a little freak in my heart, bro. I love this movie.
Well,
And I
Castle
love
Freak
Stuart
freak.
Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you got Gordon, you got Combs, and you got Crampton.
Yeah.
Every time them three are together, it's like fire for me. So,
Hell yeah.
you know.
Love it. Love to hear it. So that's awesome. That is a pretty well-rounded score. But to finish us off, we're going to go over to the final freak. As we finish up tonight's episode, we're going to close out with our final questions. Jesus Christ, I'm so redundant tonight. First, does Chuddle Freak? God damn
Does
it.
Chuddle Freak?
First, does Castle Freak belong in the Chuddle Club crypt? To qualify, it needs to have an average score of over 4 fingers. So, Sam, does it make it in?
Probably not.
No, sure
No.
doesn't. Ross was the only one who gave it a score high enough to make it. So 3 out of 5, really not bad.
No,
Better than average.
Mhm.
So for what it is, I'm impressed that it got that high. Because I'll be honest with you, I was probably at like a legit 1.5 before my rewatch. So
I could see that.
and
I
the
mean,
conversation with
That
you guys.
Freaky Boy didn't get you at
So,
first.
Yeah,
Combination.
I mean, I could see how that I could see how that could happen. Like, this movie's not for everybody, and it's definitely of a certain time and quality.
Mhm.
Well, once I understood what it was, that changed it a lot. And then again, having this like fun conversations probably going to make it a bit stickier and different things, you know. So
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna take right now to suggest the Castle Freak remake. Y'all might like that one more.
I think I'll get to it eventually. I'd like to get to it soon. I just don't know if I will, but I am interested in just seeing.
There's a lot of
what
shit
its
that's
difference
like
is.
it leans heavier into the Lovecraftian shit, and there's some really cool fucking twists and turns that flip certain things on their head.
Interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
Sorry, I was going to say the cat eats its balls instead of the penis in the remake.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I never saw that coming.
First got the
can't
shaft,
believe they
the
changed the
second
penis.
got the balls.
They totally just flipped it on its head, man. It was great. Everything else is a shot-for-shot remake, but
And
that...
this one, the cat eats
That-
booty.
I mean, fucking Gen Z's making it. And to
Right.
finish us off, I wanted to ask you one last would you rather. Would you rather own a castle with a freak in it or an Airbnb with a mother in it?
Oh,
Oh,
heck
Castle
yeah.
with the freak in it.
Castle
Yeah, hell
with a
yeah.
freak.
Yeah,
Just the size.
I think I have a better chance against a castle,
Castle
freak, yeah.
freak.
You know how
Although-
long it take me with that tape measure around that place?
Oh my god. It's 150 rooms.
Yeah, I mean, but do they count as rooms? Can you include that square footage in the
Right, exactly.
in the listing price? I mean, we do know Rossi does love a Baba, so he
I do
might
like me
go.
some you know what? I'd vacation in both. I do half and half.
Oh,
So,
you're just like
yeah.
gonna say screw it. I'll
Well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean,
Both
we
places.
go-
We're
Visit-
going to introduce the
he'd
freak
visit
and
his-
the mama.
I was gonna say,
Say
yeah.
introduce them and see
Oh.
what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe sparks fly. Maybe they
That'd
kill
be
each
interesting.
other. I don't know.
That'd be real interesting.
That castle freak be like,
Well-
I'd suck on a titty for an hour.
right. Dude,
It's like,
I mean,
just
do you think he would, or do
difference
you?
in their physical strength though? Like she would just crush him, man. 'Cause
Probably
She's got
Would.
the
Oh yeah.
As soon as he
She's got the
started to
mama
trying to eat her nipple,
scary strength.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
she would stand for that.
no, I think
I don't know, man.
They
I
take
don't
each
know.
other out probably.
I
Or
think
do you think that?
you vacation in you vacation in Italy, but you go home to mama. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like,
Interesting.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, you always got to go home to mom. Do you think mother's the first step to his Castle Freak's rehabilitation? She'll teach
Absolutely.
him not to
Yeah.
bite, essentially.
She'll
You know
teach
what's-
him how to be a person, bro. She's the mom he deserved.
What's funny is now that we're talking about it, Zach Kreger joked about that the only way he'd make a sequel is if it were Mother getting integrated into society.
That's amazing.
Oh my
it's
god!
funny that we
Mother and Castle
took off
Freak.
on that theme.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Again, everything about this episode has been serendipitous, it seems. So I think that's a beautiful spot to end it on for tonight. We want to say another huge shout out to Ricky from the Nightclub. I mean, go listen to them.
out.
Dude.
You don't need to
They-
shout. I'm just right here, bud.
Hey.
Why don't you whisper in?
We're going to give a whisper in to... Why don't you all whisper in? Go
Whisper
listen to
me.
them. I mean,
What's
you
the matter? Check out
obviously...
your penis.
You obviously
if anyone
know.
ever asks me that
Yeah.
again,
You got
I'm gonna
it. I
lose it.
mean,
It's not a cat, it's a turtle, actually.
yeah.
Dude,
Hey.
the saddest turtle.
On Gun
Kill
Street.
me.
he's sad because the cat got his penis, bro.
He was the Castle
Hey,
Freak's
hey,
pet,
turtle.
now he's our pet.
That is our-
Why are you so upset, Turtle?
Cat got my penis.
Follow us where we're followable. Listen to the Nightclub. We love you all, and until next time.
Oh,